The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Thursday, the 15th day of December 2022. Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House One Communications. And in those, I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palacio will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break, brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Hey, Sherry.
Good morning, Jamal. Just my light a little bit.
Why?
So the people could see me.
I was afraid of. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Sherry? One day closer to Friday.
I know, and I cannot wait. We are what now, 10 days out from Christmas. I used to be a real Scrooge about it, but I've gotten better over the years.
Oh, really? So you think you're getting something this year, or you were screwed because you don't want to spend money on people out cheaper?
See, you went to that part, but it was really a deep comment about just how I felt about the holidays and
Okay.
kind of just not feeling, it was real emotional sometimes for me.
No, I get you. I get you.
Calm yourself down.
I can relate. Not me, rude. No, I was just checking on you, Sherry. Just checking on you. But you still have time if you haven't already. I told everyone the other night you weren't there. You decided not to join us, but I told everyone keep my gift under $100 this year. I don't want you all splurging. Just keep it under 100.
That's not the same for me. You need to splurge, Jamal.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, we're talking financial literacy today, but greetings, everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today. We're welcoming Jamarco Sampson on, and we're going to talk about Sherry's splurging. All right, folks, we're going to talk about her splurging and financial literacy. The Daily Play is more Bermuda holiday trivia. No one got the answer yesterday. The first year of the boat parade.
I was close.
You know what? I was actually very impressed with Sherry yesterday. She came very close. She said 1999, and of all the numbers, 1 year off. She could have said any number, right? Going back to AD, and she was. But anyway, but no, she said 1999. The answer was 1998, though, Sherry.
I know, but I'm sure that you had that feeling in your stomach. 1990, you was like, she's about to get it. And then you was like,
I thought you cheated. Yeah. Folks, real quickly, yesterday I went to get me like a nice men's foot massage and pedicure down at Nail Bar, right?
Oh, how did that go?
It was great. It was an awesome experience. I really did. I enjoyed the young lady who did it for me. I believe her name's Nikki. She was great. We had a great conversation. But I tell you, man, it go check it out and check it out. I think that my regret was that I hadn't been sooner. So get down there. Maybe when you come, Sherry, you can treat me.
I can treat you. The thing is, what did she have to do once you left? Ooh, I could just imagine what was on your feet.
My hygiene is good, all right? My hygiene is good. Sherry always hating. Sherry's always hating.
Skin giving all of the poor girl.
Got a version of Sherry says, "Good morning, people. Have a great Bermuda day. Have a Bermuda day."
Good morning, Ravi and Marcia.
Yeah, better versions of Sherry there, folks. Look, let's get to today's question, Sherry. We've got some stuff to talk about. So, I don't know. I mean, I read the Royal Gazette every now and then, maybe News even less, but I haven't picked up on many layoffs in Bermuda lately that have been made public. No, that's not to say they're not happening, but I just haven't seen any. You all know how often I go on LinkedIn. I am on LinkedIn like every day. Every day. It's my version of social media addiction. Well, one of the things I've noticed on LinkedIn, and the folks, if you're on LinkedIn, I know that depending on where you are, that's the news that you get, I guess, based on IP. But based on where I am, I got a lot of tech news. And lately in the tech world, there have been so many layoffs. And of course, you heard the ones about Twitter and Facebook and so on. I want to read from the Economic Times. The Economic Times India says tech layoffs surpass Great Recession levels, set to get worse in 2023. It says the massive layoffs by the tech companies this year alone have surpassed the levels from the Great Recession the world went through 2008 and 2009 that began with the Lehman Brothers collapse. In 2008, tech companies laid off about 65,000 employees, and a similar number of workers lost their livelihoods in 2009. According to data by global outplacement and career transitioning firm Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. By comparison, 965 tech companies have laid off more than 150,000 employees this year globally, surpassing the Great Recession levels of 2008-2009. Companies like Meta, Amazon, Twitter, Microsoft, Salesforce, and others have had really bad years in terms of layoffs. So, question of the morning, and again, in Bermuda, we may think, oh, these are just tech companies and whatnot. That old saying, America sneezes, Bermuda catches a cold. What can we learn from the mass layoffs in other jurisdictions? What can we learn from them? I mean, first off, has anybody in the audience, has anyone out there, have you ever been impacted by a layoff? Have you ever been laid off? Do you know? Have you ever been made redundant, laid off? Just answer that, yes or no. Have you ever been laid off or made redundant? Sherry, what can we learn from mass layoffs in other jurisdictions?
Well, as you stated, Jamal, America sneezes, Bermuda gets a cough. And I think this is a conversation that we've spoken about before in regards to trying to be as prepared as possible. That doesn't always mean having savings. It means having some of it, but being able to provide for yourself. So before we talked about growing your own food or being very sustainable in how you can prepare yourself for times where there might not be too much an injection of income into your household. Looking at other streams of income is also really important. Rent out one of your rooms to have some income. I know in the United States you could actually rent out your personal car. I don't think you could do that in Bermuda, but so it's those kind of things that you can look at to prepare yourself for this. It doesn't have to be long term. It doesn't have to be something that is forever. But if you can inject some income and learn how to live minimalist, then you can possibly be in a better situation. And to answer your question, I've never been
No. Aren't you a lucky one? No, but I think one thing I've said on this show before is that I really do believe that it goes back to what Jason Lowe said about financial literacy and the emergency fund. I know we live in a time where people say we just don't make enough money or things are too expensive to have an emergency fund and to save and to invest. An emergency fund is crucial. I'll tell you, as a person who's had a position made redundant and gone without work. It could mean just putting $2 aside a week, or $10 a week or something like that, but something that helps you cover expenses should you lose employment. I think that's a luxury everyone should be allowed to enjoy. The thing about layoffs, some companies give, good payoff, right? Especially when it's redundancy, they'll give good payoffs. But then there are companies that they'll just give you your 2 weeks and that's it. I believe that we all must understand that a job is not guaranteed. A job is no guarantee. We can go to work today, be the greatest person that company's had, and tomorrow we may not have anywhere to go. I mean, it's tough. I want people to understand like something about transferable skills. So if you think about the Bermuda situation, there were mass layoffs when Fairmont Southampton shut. I mean, people lost their jobs. Well, we spoke about transferable skills on here. Tech people, they'll have them. Another report regarding tech, for instance, is that I believe it was CNN was reporting that. Let's just bring it up so I can give you it. So CNN, according to CNN, the Washington Post. Oh no, that's conducting more layoffs. My apologies, folks. The Washington Post will conduct layoffs. Its publisher says at contentious town hall. So that's just more layoffs. But it was an article basically saying that people who've been laid off are finding work relatively fast in the tech sector. That's not always the case, and Bermuda's a very small market. So again, yes or no? Have you been laid off? Have you had someone close to you that's been laid off? What can we learn from mass layoffs in other jurisdictions? Another thing is transferable skills. So if you worked at the as let's say you worked as a bartender at the Fairmont Southampton and you lost your job. Well, there's a job out there right now at Burroughs Lightbourne. They're looking for a brand manager for their Heineken brand, right? Mm-hmm. If you were a bartender, that's a transferable skill, right? I guess the purpose is we don't want people to think that being laid off is doom and gloom. We don't want you to think it's the end and it's over. Like, there are other ways to bounce back. I'm going to be honest with you. We're doing this because I was made redundant, right? Out of redundancy, a company was born. So I love the idea. Let's use tech in Silicon Valley, Sherry. Mm-hmm. I'm like, if you're that intelligent and can work in that space, how can you not go and create something for yourself? That's how I think about it. If you're in that.
No, I agree with you. Definitely, if you have a tech degree or, like you said, transferable skills is very important. And even having a base of a skill to learn more and build on it in a different industry altogether. Mm-hmm. You see that if you can speak to people and be one with people, you could do customer service. And that works. So you could do that remotely. And you can do that in different industries.
Well, stop there, because you just said something. So let's say you were front desk at Fairmont Southampton, you lost your job, you got laid off. Folks, you know how many people, just go on LinkedIn. Again, I'm going to keep screaming LinkedIn, because until we as a community get on LinkedIn, we're going to only be as big as the fishbowl we live in, which is Bermuda. The internet, if you can't find work in Bermuda, take yourself global.
Yeah.
Take yourself global. How? Guess what, everyone? Go on Fiverr or Fiverr, however you pronounce it, and put your skills on it. You just said, Sherry, customer service. People are looking for virtual assistants. Mm-hmm. You name a company, they're looking for virtual assistants. Layoffs will happen. Question of the morning, folks. As we started this morning, we spoke about an article in the Economic Times. Basically, tech layoffs surpassed Great Recession levels, and it's set to get worse in 2023. And the question to all of you is, what can we learn from mass layoffs in other jurisdictions? Jamila Godwin says, and this is why I have 3 streams of revenue and save a little bit every month. Well, this is it. What's his name? Warren Buffett tells us all the time, right? He says it all the time. You've got to have multiple streams of income. Mm-hmm. You must, especially when you're not taking billions. When you're not in a level, if you lose one stream of income, you should always have another. And that's just a rule that I think makes financial sense the world over. Jamila Godwin says, I sell templates on Etsy and I love it. Bingo. Just speaking about that. Ooh. Look, Sherry, we say a lot of stuff on this show, a lot of things, we got accused of being biased. I mean, it's not an accusation, it's real. But I really do hope, when I said what I said just now, people think of it. Take yourself global. Take yourself beyond the shores of Bermuda. The internet is giving you the opportunity to do that. Don't get stuck on Instagram because you want to show people your curves, or on Facebook because you just want to express yourself and show yourself versus your competitor, or Twitter just because you have something to say. Think about what you're good at and find a way to take that skill and make it global, because trust me, someone somewhere is in need of your services.
Well, let me say this, Jamal. I work for a nonprofit organization. We deal with unaccompanied children. Nevertheless, the site that I work at has a teacher's aide. I had spent some time with him doing an event, and he was like, "Oh, Miss Sherry, I sell stuff on Facebook. I wrote a children's book. I tutor after work." And I looked at him like,
Mm,
"Really?"
mm.
It's like, yeah, I have all of these, I do all of these things, and I could show you how to do them. I was like, yes, please do. So I'm just like, I was amazed because I only see him in one environment. But once he leaves the door, he has several streams of income that he utilizes. He's a teacher's aide, so he tutors online.
Mm, mm,
Makes
mm.
sense. And he sets his own schedule. He also sells things online. So it's just really, I was amazed. The book, something that
It's
always gives income.
and again, it's not doom and gloom if you have the desire to do for self. Again, folks, question of the morning: what can we learn from mass layoffs in other jurisdictions? As the Economic Times reports, tech layoffs have surpassed the Great Recession of 2008-2009, and it's expected to get worse in 2023. So we haven't heard much in the media about Bermuda lately, right? uh,
But
Michael Daniels is asking, did I get to the job fair yesterday? What's my opinion? Well, let's say I made it to Hamilton Princess on two different times, and both times I was meeting with a audience member of the show, and the second time I was meeting with one of our board members. But I did not get into there. But I saw quite a few people, so I don't have an opinion to share. But folks, if you were there, I'd love to hear from you. Any feedback on how that went?
I just want to add, Jamal, that when you talk about recessions or layoffs and doing different streams of income, I think what I also took from my coworker is a sense of discipline. You have
Mm,
to be very disciplined and organized to follow through with these various streams. Doing things online is a lot. You got to take pictures, you got to do descriptions, you got to do that. You have to do a multitude of things, as we have to do on this show as well, right?
mm,
It's just not what us showing up. There's a lot of work that goes behind, and it's a sense of discipline. So I
mhm,
think that's something that we definitely need to take into this, is to
mhm.
be disciplined in certain things to get that return.
Yeah, indeed, indeed, indeed. Um, Francie in Paris says, yes, absolutely. I'm working on my online business now, and I can't wait for it to be up and running. This is definitely the way of the world as a singer and piano teacher. All my vocal and piano students are online Zoom. I had to teach myself Zoom so that I could know the app better than my students. Get on board, people.
Mm,
You know what's interesting? I remember people were complaining, like people who own gyms, right? They were saying during the pandemic when things were shut down, oh, you're affecting my business. And my immediate thought, Sherry, was I know a gym, you probably still have to pay rent and whatnot, but why not just go online and have some workout classes with those people and do some things, how to show them how to work out in tight spaces at home, different things like that. Now, I'm not saying that's a long-term solution. I just felt like, you know, take it global. Take it.
mhm.
My hope for Bermuda and Bermudians is that we don't allow ourselves to be suffocated by the space that we live in. And that doesn't mean you have to live outside Bermuda. You don't. That doesn't mean you have to leave Bermuda at any point. You can go global. I say it all the time. Rush Limbaugh, he passed. Rush Limbaugh, they call him the father of talk radio, the most
Mhm.
controversial and to many racist guys ever, right? But
Remember.
he had a syndicated radio show that, as far as I remember, in its last day, he was producing it from home in Palm Beach, Florida, right? So everyone thought, oh, he was based in New York City. No, he was not. But you would never know. The world has opened up. The world is bigger than the space that we live in. Do not let a layoff make you think that it's all over. Let's say, I had someone talking about Balco, right? Saying, man, Balco is the only game in town. You lose your job there. Where are you going to work? I'm like, there are buildings that are looking for maintenance people who oversee all their electrical stuff. There are, homes that are always looking for electricians. You can create your own business. Or, you know what? Self-employed electricians are always looking for help. There are so many different opportunities and things. What I don't want is, folks, do not think it's all doom and gloom, but prepare. We
Yeah.
must prepare. Like, don't sit back. Don't. One of my biggest regrets is my business should have launched long before I was made redundant, but I was so focused on the company I was working with. Don't allow yourself to be late to the game that you already know how to play.
Yeah.
Think beyond the space we live in. Layoffs may not impact you directly. They may impact someone you love, someone you know. Take this conversation, have it with them. If you know someone that works in reinsurance all their life, just went 40, made redundant, can't find work, ask them, what skill did you possess in that organization that you can take global? Oh, you were the executive assistant to the CEO. All right, so you will be a top tier virtual assistant. Oh, okay, you were the IT person. Well, think about the amount of people in somewhere like Armenia or Russia or South America that may need IT skills. You don't need to be president. Let's bring Maya in before you get me in trouble, Sherry.
Me?
Yeah. I mean,
I
missed the message. Here we go. Let's bring Maya in, folks. You can continue to answer if you'd like.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Maya. How are you?
I was like, that line that you just said, Jamal, I might actually get that tattooed on me. Don't allow yourself to be late to the game you already know how to play. Wow.
Wow.
Joking though, but still, it was quite a lot. I was like, that actually took me aback a bit.
What is real? I mean, think about it. And this is why I admire someone like yourself. I'll use you as an example since you're in the room. Is there are so many people who could have probably went on their own and took. It's a risk to go out on your own, especially so early, right? Because the idea is that we're taught to go to college, come out, go work for other people, and
keep it
rely on promotions to go up the ladder. But if you already have the entrepreneurial spirit, I'm going to tell you, once you start working full time for someone else, it can be broken if you don't have the strength to do it for yourself. A lot of us know what we need to do, Maya, but we fear. We have a fear of going and doing it, like we do. And so I don't know. I don't say I regret things, but I just know that we had the opportunity to do what we're doing much sooner. But hey, here we are. Maybe it's all in the timing that we are not in control of. The answer.
And one of my stories in my newscast is definitely going to speak to that. But I just want to start out first because it's going to be some tragic news to start out with everyone, which is really upsetting. But the Bermuda Police Service confirmed the death of 24-year-old Romario Simons. Romario is Bermuda's 10th road fatality of 2022. Mr. Simons was seriously injured when the motorcycle he was riding collided with a sport utility vehicle on Middle Road in Sands Parish near the junction with Overplus Lane around 6 p.m. on Tuesday. EMTs treated him at the scene and he was rushed to the hospital where life-saving measures were performed, but unfortunately, Mr. Simons was pronounced dead. A PPS family liaison officer is providing support to his loved ones, and the road policing unit is investigating the circumstances of the latest road fatality. Any witnesses are still very much so encouraged to call Constable Jason Ming at 247-1788.
Yeah, very sad. And again, we said it yesterday, sending love and comfort to the family, loved ones, and entire community. You said that was number 10 this year?
That was a 10th road fatality, yes.
Okay. Whew.
If you didn't know, the 9th actually was a 71-year-old gentleman, I believe. His name was Ian, and he actually died, I believe it was last week. I didn't report on that one, but he was hit while he was walking along the road and actually hit as a pedestrian on the roads. So that was extremely sad to hear. And condolences as well to his family.
Yeah, I did see that one come around. What else you got for us?
Well, unfortunately, in more collision-related news, a 63-year-old female motorcycle rider collided with a feral chicken that came off, and she came off her bike yesterday shortly after 7 a.m. On Wednesday. Police received a report of a single vehicle collision involving a motorcycle at the junction of Pitts Bay Road and Rosemont Avenue, Pembroke. She was attended at the scene by EMTs who transported her by ambulance to the hospital for further treatment for her injuries, which are considered life-threatening.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So a chicken was in the road, and you know what it made me think of? In the U.S., like in a lot of states, they have deer sign because, you know, deers are always out in the road, right?
Yeah.
But I would have never thought in Bermuda we would. Yeah, that's crazy.
Come to a point where we have so many feral chickens where you have to dodge and make obstacles. It's very sad to hear, and I wish her well.
Yeah, I do. Definitely sending her healing vibes, and her family, you know, they support the community. What else you got for us?
Next one coming up, we're going to put it on the screen because I believe it's important for people to actually screenshot this one as well. Jamal, if you don't mind doing that. But there's been a health warning that has been issued. Listen in. The officer of the Chief Medical Office has updated its guidance on Group A staphylococcal gas disease to ensure that the public and clinicians have access to the most up-to-date information. Recently, there have been reports in the UK about increased rates of the gas disease, including severe invasive cases that have resulted in deaths of 10 children. As of the 14th of December, no cases of the gas disease in Bermuda have been reported. However, the chief medical officer, Dr. Ayo Oloye, explained that the gas infection remains a notifiable disease under the Public Health Act. Medical practitioners have a legal duty to notify all cases to the office of the chief medical officer. The gas is a common bacteria. Many of us carry it in our throats or on our skin, and it doesn't always result in illness. However, gas does cause several infections, some mild, like strep throat or scarlet fever, and some more serious. The most serious infections come from the invasive gas known as eye gas. These invasive infections are caused by bacteria getting into parts of the body where it is not normally found, such as the lungs, bloodstream, or joints. In rare cases, an eye gas infection can be fatal.
Oh my.
What next?
It goes on to say that a lot of children under 10, unfortunately, have died from this disease. So if you see any changes in your child's behavior, feeding, sickness, you know, get them checked, make sure they're okay, and just be more wary of this, I guess, new disease that's now on the scene.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Take care of the children, folks. What else you got for us, Maya? Any good stuff today?
I got some good stuff coming up now. I'm sorry to put the gloom in the Thursday morning, but this story is really amazing. I had the chance to actually interview about the dickaroo, which is an invention made by Antonia and her husband, Lloyd Holder. So as we were talking about earlier this morning about having ideas, going through with them, you know, what Jamal said, that quote that honestly, that will probably live in my mind forever. Don't show up. Don't allow yourself to be late in the game that you already know how to play. So here's a video of a short promo of the clip that I had an interview with them.
We see this as a worldwide product. It's not just for Bermuda, but Bermuda is a beautiful start, you know, to be able to connect with so many people that we know and we don't know, who will give open, honest feedback. It really is a great incubator to start anything.
Yes.
And so to have the accessibility to go to someone and say, could you, you know, I'm dying to know, you know, could you give us any insight into how it's going? And to hear what's coming back is just beyond anything we could have asked for at this point.
Now, I must ask, do you have it on you? Can I see the device?
We do have it, yes. And we've been fortunate because our kids have been our guinea pigs, you know, since we had the prototype, which was important for us to really test the functionality of it before it was released, right? Like any new invention, you really want to beta test it out. Mm-hmm. And just our biggest goal was to make sure that it did help with posture.
That's right.
What do your kids think? I know they're young right now, but they see you guys as inventors doing all this stuff. What are they thinking when they see their parents, and what do they know?
I don't think that they well, Layla does.
Our daughter, who's 7, she just melts my heart.
She does.
She said to me just last night, because we were packaging some of the pre-orders that we have, and she saw them laying out on the living room floor, and she came out and did a little dance, and she was like, I'm so excited. I'm so proud of you. Yes. Like, she creates these songs out of everything, and it's just been incredible to watch, because I truly believe, so there were no entrepreneurs in my family. And so I didn't get exposure to entrepreneurship or working for yourself, or sort of the lessons that the life skills that develop as a part of having that, that as in your upbringing. And so to be able to gift that to my kids, I know it's going to be beneficial to them in the long run. Oh my gosh, I'm getting emotional thinking about it.
I'm getting emotional for you. Like, that's such it's such a heartwarming experience.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So where can we watch the entire thing?
You can watch the entire thing. It'll be up on my YouTube channel as well as my website as well. And it's going to be up literally in probably 30 minutes at 9 a.m. So it's been scheduled to go up, and you're going to actually see the whole, they break it down, how it works, how it operates. And they actually have won like some global awards. Actually, they've been like honored at Fast Company for this product that they've designed under the category of wellness. And that category is also like, put it this way, they are beside companies like Pinterest and Samsung, who are also on that same level for inventions that they've also made. So it's really a huge deal, and it's definitely a global product.
Indeed.
Awesome.
Well,
so in other related news, though, definitely want to mention this, as some athletes have been doing amazing things out there in Bermuda. So members of the Harbor Swim Club competed in the 32nd Annual Speedo Championship in Plantation, Florida. And the Harbor was represented by head coach Shauna Palmer, swimmer Connor Humpman, Abiel Newport, Taluda Parkinson, and Maisha Sharif, who you see in this photo here. And the event brought over 1,000 swimmers from the United States and the Caribbean. Sharif swam to gold in the women's 17 and over 50-yard backstroke in a time of 29:26. She also went on to win 2 other bronze medals as well in this competition, which is really big news for this athlete. So congratulations.
All right.
Swimming make you tired. So props to you. What else you got?
Well, my last 2 news right now, I just want to mention that the City Hall Art Fest did happen last week. It was a pretty nice event if you got to go out to it. It was before the boat parade, and they had a bunch of people in the community there. They had vendors, foods, a great opportunity to buy your Christmas gifts, and it was just an amazing day of celebrating 100 years of art. So congratulations to them for that, and the event was surely one for the family.
All righty. I didn't get to go, Sherry. How about you? Oh, sorry. What else you got, Maya?
Lastly, my interview that I did with Sophia Tessitore is up on my Instagram if you guys want to go check it out. And yes, we did talk about a lot of things about her career and why she actually chose to partner her political career with the One Bermuda Alliance. As you know, she's 21 years old. So, tying yourself to that political party, it's going to be like an all-life decision. So it's quite interesting to see like where her thought process came and why she decided to go with them.
I saw some of it. I'll go watch the entire thing because I wanted to comment, but I was under a business account, so I kind of couldn't do it. So yeah, you know how it goes. But I was watching.
Thank goodness.
It wasn't anything bad. No, my was very good. Honestly, I'll go.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherry.
How's the weather looking, Maya?
The weather's looking like some sunny spells developing after an early light shower or 2 in Bermuda. And we have a high of 68 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 60 degrees Fahrenheit today. So it's going to get chilly later on. And for anyone riding a bike, please stop playing, myself included, and wear your gloves. Wear your gloves. It is so cold. Like my hands are freezing.
It is. It is. It's something out there. I want to know what the temperature is. If they say it's 62, how much is it if you're going like 35K on a bike and like it's hitting your body? Like,
I would love for everyone to go 35K.
Oh well, that's not bad right there. But anyway, but if you all are lawbreakers and you're going fast, anybody who could do that science, let me know how cold that windshield actually is. Please let me know. What you got days of the year for us, Sherry?
Well, step aside coffee and Coca-Cola. Why? Because it is International Tea Day. We drink the most popular beverage in the world. The day mainly seeks to raise awareness of the impact of the tea trade has on farmers and workers, but is also celebrated by tea lovers worldwide. Did you know that the origins of tea have been traced back to China? It was mostly used for medicinal purposes until the 17th century when tea made its way to the UK, United Kingdom. The main types of tea include black, green, white, herbal, and oolong. So for all those who love tea, enjoy your tea
Did
today.
you say herbal just now?
Herbal.
Okay, just making sure. She definitely said herbal. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm gonna have a tea today. What's you guys' favorite tea?
I like regular tea. I don't like too many flavors, but I can do like ginger or lemon. But I also live in the South, so I like a Arnold Palmer, which is tea and lemonade. I like it cold. So
What do you like? What's your favorite tea, Maya?
I love tea. Like I love tea. So either hot teas or cold teas. But my favorite hot tea I do now is like a green tea, and I cut up some ginger with that, and then some lemon and a bit of honey. So that's really good for like it helps with like bloating throughout the day, and also just like digestion flow as well. So
I like that.
Ginger tea or nothing, folks. We got around, Maya. We will see you later.
Bye, guys.
Later. All right, folks. We've got a very special guest coming up, Jamarco Sampson. We're talking financial literacy. Do not go anywhere. Another conversation that I think we need to have in our community.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dendytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, I'm Jamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by Medical House, One Communications, Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, don't forget, you can now tune into the Daily Hour on thedailyhour.com. No need for social media. Again, we know not everyone has a Twitter or YouTube or Facebook. So now it's available just like you can find things on demand as far as news on your favorite news site. So thedailyhour.com, you can tune in, send it to your friends and family. Without further ado, we've got a guest today. We're talking about financial literacy again. But before we get there, I didn't give my favorite tea. It's ginger for me, folks. It's ginger for me. Aunt Karen Simmons says, love tea, hot and cold. I will say my Chick-fil-A drink is half and half. So it's an Arnold Palmer.
Sunjoy.
Little Sunjoy. That's what they call it, folks. I didn't say they wouldn't have known what Sunjoy. So
no, they wouldn't. But Arnold Palmer, yes.
Yeah, it's an Arnold Palmer Sunjoy, folks. But let's bring in our guest for the day. We've got Jamarco Sampson. Oops, I keep doing that. I'm sorry.
Doing it at the wrong time.
Oh my gosh, that was brilliant.
Welcome to the show, Jamarco. Look, I'm sorry. No, yesterday it was even worse because we had the police commissioner on.
Oh my gosh.
The siren went off. So no, apologies for that.
Incredible. No.
So welcome to the show, man.
Yes, thank you, Jamel and Sherry. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Thank you, sir. Do us a favor. Just go. You don't want to be right your head on the show. You want to sit back a bit, like how we're sitting. Pull your laptop down a bit, right? Like we had set up in the green room. Yep. Bring it down a bit. Yeah.
They're perfect.
Yep. So we don't want Sherry jumping through saying, "Oh, this." No. She gets out of hand. But look, thank you for this conversation. This is one of the most important topics in our community that I don't think we talk about enough. It's something we, financial health is an important part of what we should be discussing, regardless of your position or state in life. But tell the people a bit about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so I am Jamarco Sampson. I am a recent graduate of St. Mary's University, and I just started a full-time job back at home working in reinsurance. So it's been an interesting ride, kind of how I got to kind of an interest in finance and financial literacy. I just remember shortly after I graduated high school, I had a gap year, and it was in that year was my first time I had like a real job where I was getting some money in my pocket, and it's one of those things. I kind of had a Mr. Krabs mindset. I wanted to keep as much money as I made, and in terms of instead of losing it. So it just kind of opened up that the interest wheel of what's out there in the world. Like how are people out there making so much money and just kind of attaining wealth at a sustainable rate. And it got me, it turned my interest to a bunch of books, the stock market, and it just really just kind of went off from there.
Indeed. And that's a great story. I mean, I people used to call me cheap, right?
Right.
I didn't think I was cheap. I was saving for college at the time. I see Sherry's moving her lips, but it's a great way to start and to kind of understand when you get that first job, what you tend to do with your money. And sometimes it says a lot about how you're brought up as well. That for me, it was how I was brought up that influenced my spending habits when I was much younger. And then, somehow along the way, I forgot all about all that. Just explain to those who may not know, because we do discuss financial literacy a lot, but what is financial literacy to you?
Yeah, to me, in short, being financially literate is just having the ability to be flexible with your goals, not only financial goals, but life goals in general. I think everything in society these days kind of stems off of finance. If you think about it, if you want to get married, that's a goal for a lot of people. How can you finance a wedding? Those aren't cheap. You need to learn how to budget that. Okay, how can I budget effectively? And then you go down the rabbit hole in that avenue. But it's also about just seeing the plethora of options that are available to you in the world. People think that being financially literate is such a daunting task. You need to have formal education for it. That isn't the case. I think just having an understanding of how to save, how to spend a paycheck effectively. You touched on it a few minutes ago. The importance of having an emergency fund, having a 6 months of living expenses set aside. For scenarios where you don't have full-time income. So it's really about just having the that ability to kind of just pivot your finances accordingly, how you see fit, and just realizing the options that are out there for you.
Indeed.
The one thing that I noticed immediately when I saw a picture of you, I was like, this guy is young. And to have that appearance of just young, and you're on here talking about financial literacy, I was kind of just blown away. So why is it so important to you that other young people understand financial literacy like yourself?
It's important because times are getting tough, and it's important to kind of understand where your money is going, because everybody in Bermuda right now is talking about the cost of living, everything's getting expensive, and people don't really ask the question as to why it's getting expensive. And I think a lot of young people just kind of have the mindset of oh, I'm young, things are going to get better in the future. But it isn't always the case. And I think just kind of having the gift of youth and just understanding that, I can start out small, as a young person, and then kind of just snowball that knowledge into larger things later on in life. So it's really just about, I guess, just knowing how the world, how the economy is shifting, and how you can be best prepared for that. And it's a shame, because I think a lot of young people see finance and financial literacy as a daunting task. It's something that you need to have formal education for. And I think that perception comes from the lack of educational resources in our high schools.
Mm-hmm.
If you as a senior in high school, you're not getting the education to, how do I budget, how do I save effectively in your classrooms, it can give off the perception of, high schoolers aren't at the level of intelligence to kind of comprehend that. It's something that you kind of need to wait later on in life to attain. And I don't really think that's the case at all. Actually, I think all it takes is just kind of having something that's within your interest, kind of like turn the cog for you, and it really just goes from there. So it's all about just figuring out your interests and how finance can affect that.
And it's real interesting, as you stated, about the educational factor, right? Your generation has YouTube. You have different things outside of your regular educational institute, even social media. So for your generation, it definitely is a position where you're able to educate yourselves a lot better. But when we talk about also saving and investing, a daunting thing for me, as Jamal would call a seasoned person. But how do we encourage more young people to consider investing over saving? Because I think we go in with the mindset of save, save, save.
Right.
Where's the balance?
Yeah, I think the balance is just kind of having the opportunity to see the multiple financial vehicles that are out there. I mean, in my personal experience, I was fortunate enough to go to university in Canada, and during my time out there, I was able to attain a tax ID, and through that, I just went on those zero commission trading platforms, and I kind of just started to invest here and there, just any pocket change into some index funds or just blue chip companies, and to me, it really kind of turned the cogs for me, and like, hey, so what else is out there? How else can I invest instead of just saving my money? Because a lot of people, they see savings as just, putting your money aside into a bank account and just having that sit there for a later time. And truthfully speaking, that's not the way to do it. I mean, if you look at the interest rate that you get with your money sitting in a bank account, it's minimal. It's absolutely it's nothing. You're not gonna really gain anything from it. So just seeing the multiple avenues that are out there for you. And again, it's just the internet is a fascinating place. I recommend every young person to leverage the internet. We live in a fantastic period where there's just a plethora of opportunities out there. So it's just understanding what's out there and how your current skill set can kind of suit that. For me, it was I love just to see the tickers every single day, seeing how the money market was moving. So that's kind of what got my cogs turning. But it can be a bit daunting locally because it's not really touched on as much in the sense that investing is available here. It is. There are services that provide investing services. The banks do, and there also are some other financial institutions, but they're kind of hidden. They're not really blowing up in your face, especially as a young person. So you really have to do some independent research, and I think that if we can break that barrier of just thinking that it's investing is only for those people that are established in life and have a large chunk of money to kind of throw at something, and you don't really care for the risk. All right, it's a shame. So I think as a young person, again, we have the gift of youth on our side. We have the ability to take risks early on, and I mean, a big financial hit to someone that's 20, it won't really have a large effect on you, when you're 30, right? Because again, you're gonna develop in your life and career, and that money is going to be retained. So it's all about just taking risks while you're young, and just seeing what's out there, taking a jump on opportunities, and seeing where it goes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to think, it's like gambling, right? Some people that just don't understand the markets, but there are so many different ways: mutual funds, stocks, bonds,
exactly,
so many different things. again, sometimes it's how you brought up, but as we said earlier, like the world's a big place. The internet opens up a lot of opportunities for us to get an understanding. Again, we don't want to be repetitive on this show in terms of speaking about what we spoke about a couple of weeks ago with Jason Lowe, but it's impacted the Black community a lot. Like Black people still talking about savings accounts. There's nothing wrong with the savings account. He explained savings versus emergency fund versus investing. And so I think there are people struggling who say, well, I don't have the money to do it. As you just said, not every institution is going to make you start with 25, 30,000. Some will give you a little less where you can just invest, say $10 here in a month here, $5 into your savings a week, like just different things. But I think it comes down to budgeting, understanding budgeting.
Agreed.
And I'll tell you what,
Agreed.
The internet is a great teacher because you can find articles like something that you've written before in the Royal Gazette. You can find conversations like this where people can just get an understanding. Once they get that basic understanding of what financial literacy is, then they take the next steps to find out how they can benefit. What do they need to do to benefit? And that said, Teresa's Hall, she says, can we address the complicated relationship Black people have with money? Well, we traditionally have been on to savings accounts. And I don't want to be, I don't think it's necessarily picking on white people, but they've long gone to stocks and bonds and so on. What do you think we can do to get people? You mentioned school, right?
Right. Yeah. I really think it just comes down to just having that financial clarity. And again, this doesn't have to be something that has to be taught in classrooms, although it would be a great boost to kind of, have the conversation and put that in the face of not only youth, but a lot of older generations that feel like their time has passed, and this opportunity they can't really capitalize on some of the opportunities that the internet is providing us. So I really think that, just having the impactful conversations with the youth and just, realizing, where your money is going. For me personally speaking, I kind of saw budgeting as a daunting task at first, but then, as I started to educate myself, there was a great book, The Richest Man in Babylon. I recommend everybody to read it, young or old. It really teaches you a lot about not only money, but society as a whole. And within that book, I learned about the 15% rule, paying yourself. So when you get a paycheck, the first thing you're going to do is, pay yourself, set aside 15, 20, 30%, whatever amount it is. It's all relative to the person. Set aside that money first before you touch any expenses, before you touch, bills, insurance and anything like that. That way you're forcing yourself to set aside money, and it's not just a thing of, I'll get to it after I sort out my expenses. And that can be a daunting task for people. Everybody's circumstances are different.
Well, real quickly, I know you have to run, but we want to touch on the workforce development. Talk to us about the partnership with workforce development regarding the financial.
Right. Yeah. So it's a great opportunity that was presented to me actually through my article that was on the Royal Gazette. So somebody had reached out to me from the workforce development, and they wanted me to host a seminar to the graduate trainee program, just touching on the fundamentals of financial literacy. And it's not even something that has to be an advanced conversation. It's really something that's fundamental. A lot of young people these days kind of, I guess, again, see financial literacy as a daunting task. Some people don't know how to open up bank accounts. Some people, again, don't know how to save and budget effectively. So it's really just kind of having the opportunity to kind of share the knowledge that I've attained throughout my experiences to youth who are just starting to get into the workforce, and paychecks are starting to come in, and it's so. It's going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be happening in the new year, so I'm really excited for it.
And how can people get in touch to learn more?
Through me? Yeah, so I'm not really on social media as much as I'd like to be. So I guess a great channel to get in touch would be through Bermuda Youth Connect. I'm largely affiliated with them, so it anything that kind of piques your interest, any questions that you may have, relay it to Bermuda Youth Connect, and I'd be happy to reach out and help.
So I'm gonna put you on the spot. You're doing all this great work. You do have a LinkedIn account, correct?
Yes, I do.
All right.
LinkedIn, yes, Jamarco Sampson.
We don't consider that social media, because
right, yeah.
I'll go with the other stuff. I'm like,
Jamal was like a real father just now. Like, listen,
you know, my young people need to be on LinkedIn. But one last,
yeah, that's one thing that's largely apparent, especially starting in the the workforce, full-time job. Got to be on LinkedIn. Leverage those connections.
Industries. If you're not on LinkedIn, you don't have a career.
Exactly.
Mark, Phillips just asking a quick question. Was there anyone in your family who inspired you to invest?
No, not really, actually. And growing up, I was fortunate to be in a position where I don't want to say money wasn't an issue, but it was definitely something where we were conscious of the money that we had and where it was going. So I guess just my parents, I can credit to them their financial responsibility, just how they managed their finances. It kind of inspired me to kind of take a deeper avenue of learning what's available, because again, when you do save and you have that fund aside, you can do a lot of great things with it. So yeah, it's really just a testament to them and just how disciplined they were with their journey, and it just inspired me to go from there.
Indeed. I just want to say before you go, and folks, if you're tuned in, give a love, a like, share this conversation. And this is not to make you uncomfortable, but almost daily we're talking about things going on in the community. And just a couple of days ago, Black men being, we're losing them in accidents, we're losing them in shootings, we're losing them to prison and so on. I'm encouraged when I see such greatness in people like yourself, and learning, but not learning and keeping it all to yourself, but actually trying to share what you're learning. I absolutely adore and love Bermuda Youth Connect and what everyone in the organization is doing. And I'm glad that we have this monthly agreement for you all to come and engage this audience. I always say that, we can learn things from babies. And I am encouraged that you young people are teaching older people, even people Sherry's age. I'm glad that you are sharing your gifts with all of us. So that said, Jamarco, thank you for doing this. Bermuda Youth Connect, keep doing great things, and I'm sure we'll have more conversations in the future as we follow up with how workforce development is doing, and as you evolve, you'll be probably offering new things that you shared. So thank you so much. For
certainly. Thank you for having me, and I just want to leave it off here with young or old, it's never too late to start. I mean, the second best time to grow a tree is today. So just don't feel intimidated, in the sense that, oh, my time's passed, or, this is too intimidating. I don't really think I have the ability to the capacity to kind of to understand something like this. But no, it's really not. It's just, I always say it's a snowballing effect. You start small and then you kind of develop into something greater. So
indeed,
yeah, definitely don't feel intimidated and just go out there, follow your interests, follow your passions.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a wonderful day.
You as well. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. Jamarco Sampson, folks, if you appreciated that conversation, please give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Share these conversations. Again, some of the solutions to everything we face are in the conversations that we have on this show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
A lot happens around your home. That is why at One Communications, we have introduced affordable security and video monitoring, because everyone should be able to afford to protect their family. Anytime, from anywhere, One Home Security keeps you connected and puts security in your hands with an easy-to-use smartphone app to control everything. Home security is important to keep you and your family safe. Motion-activated cameras around your home and security monitoring within create a complete security system providing protection both inside and outside your home. Professional monitoring means that there's someone on call with 24/7 protection to notify the authorities and help keep you and your loved ones safe. We are dedicated to whole home protection with indoor and outdoor cameras, smart door locks, motion sensors, and more, so you'll always be connected to what matters most. With professional installation, no upfront hardware fees, and low monthly rates, because keeping your family safe should be affordable for everyone. Total home video monitoring and security, there's no better way to protect your home than with One Home Security.
All right. Thanks again to Jamarco Sampson and Bermuda Youth Connect for stopping by and having these conversations. Thanks again to One Communications, People's Pharmacy, Medical House, and Linda's for ensuring we can have these conversations. It's time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. We've got the new holiday edition. You can find it at Brown & Co. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
I am.
All right, it's Bermuda Holiday Trivia. Help her out, folks. Help her out, folks. This is easy. This is easy. So I'm going to start my music. Which vehicle does Santa usually appear on in the Christmas parade?
A sleigh. A truck. A car.
Folks, which vehicle does Santa usually appear on in the Christmas parade, folks?
It's not a truck. I said truck. It's not a car.
Anyone?
Really, Jamal?
What vehicle does Santa usually? Thank you, Shikarina. Thank you, NTS.
The fire truck.
My goodness.
Sorry.
My goodness, fire truck. Everybody know that. And Karen, I weren't gonna call you out that you followed her with sleigh. Oh my goodness.
Why is that truck, Jamal?
No, I knew you was gonna try that. No, it's not a truck. It's a fire truck. Everybody knew it. Sheikah, Sheldon, Nicole, NTS, Michelle White.
All right. I think we're running out of time. Let's wrap it up.
Final thoughts on today's show, lady.
You see how I usually pull that real quick? When we talk about recessions and being prepared for it and what can we learn from it. And you know, we discussed before, as we did today, discipline, having other sources of income, and just being very, as much as you can, prepared. Jamarco, that was just so beautiful, and it was just a delight to speak with him, and for him to be so young and to have this financial freedom and financial knowledge and literacy that he's willing to share with others. People take note. Check out workforce development.
Yeah, I think I'm encouraged by it. As far as dealing with layoffs, what can we learn from them, folks? There's a lot we can learn from layoffs in other jurisdictions. Number one thing is preparation. Preparation may look different to all of us, but preparing for whatever. It can happen to any of us. That's the truth. As far as Jamarco, I'm encouraged by what Bermuda Youth Connect are doing. I'm encouraged to see a young Black male doing this, learning certain things and sharing it with people. It's what we need. It's, these community conversations are going to determine so much for us if we're willing to use the information that's being shared. Sherry, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. The best years of your life are the ones in which you decide your problems are your own. You don't blame them on your mother, the ecology, or the president. You realize that you control your own destiny. And that's from Albert Ellis.
All right, Albert. It's a good one. Sherry, you see what they're saying about you in the audience, right?
I know. Yes, I am.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I would give you partial credit. Michelle.
They talking about you, Sherry. I mean, folks, I don't want you to pick one, so I'm gonna end. We're gonna head out now. But thanks again to our partners, Medical House, One Communications, Linda's, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's for Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman.
It's partial credit for me.
Yeah. You didn't accept that A-. You won that A+. You're out, folks. Cheetos never win.